Hey guys, how are you? We got a snowstorm. I'm going to show you how to drive in the storm. We want to be safe. The first thing I need you to do is always put on your seatbelt. Make sure you're safe. The car's warmed up. I've cleaned off the windows of the car. So I might have to roll down this window on this side. I might have to go out and wipe off the window. Okay, I have to go up and wipe off the windows so you can see. That's really important. Put on your seatbelt. We got about a half a tank of gas. I let the car warm up. This is a smaller 2010 Chevy Malibu. Whenever you back up, I'm going to put it in reverse. You're going to see me look. I'm going to back up really, really slow. Turning my hand. Then I'm going to put the car in drive. Okay, I'm going to have you see this area. I want you to see what's going on here. Okay, I'm going to roll onto the first lane. As you can see, it's really bad. So we just want to take our time. I could end up going on the expressway. I could go on the service drive. We just don't know yet. So I want to see what it looks like and how the roads are. You want to be safe, smooth. In adverse weather conditions such as this, you want to drive slower. It's going to take my time. I want you to really get a sense of what's going on. Look. So you got to stay with the flow of the traffic, but it's about space. And this is the first real heavy downfall, so I just want to take my time. The good thing is I filled up with gas this morning, so I'm safe there. What I've learned from driving and teaching people how to drive, you got to be smooth, got to be deliberate. The car is snow-worthy, meaning I have good windshield wipers, I have windshield washer solvent. The tires are pretty good. They're about 75%, meaning I got about 75% of the tread to grip the road. The car stops pretty good. The headlights are good to okay. They're not perfect because this is an older car, but you can't make excuses. Going to about 25 and a 35. I have a choice. I could take side roads or get on the expressway. And then when it's my turn, I have to come up here and stop for 3 seconds. So my turn starts now, so I'm going to stop 1001, 1002, 1003. trying to get the heat just right to keep the windows from fogging up, so I'm not having that much success. I'll be courteous to let this driver come through, just like they want to come through. Then I'm going to squeeze my brakes. I am not going to run this light. If you can stop, you should. Your driving habits should not change. Thank you. The driving habits should not change if you are driving in this type of weather. We could have up to 6 inches. I'm still making the decision. I can take the side road for about 15-20 minutes to be real relaxed, or I could get on the freeway and it would be bumper to bumper. So I just want to take a quick peek. Go ahead and take this road. So I made a decision to stay on that main streets, which is fine. You need to learn more than one way to drive home. And your stopping distance will increase. So I'm just squeezing the brake with the ball of my foot. We're driving in a snowstorm, so I wanted to share this with you guys, give you some feedback and input. We're expecting about 6 inches of snow. I do teach in this type of weather too, but if the road is too bad, we can cancel drives. So you have to look at the weather report. Left and right looks clear. We have a bad Midwestern storm. So, driving about 30 miles an hour, trying to keep room. Squeezing my brake so I can allow them time to slow down. They gave me a good blinker, so that's a pretty good blinker. And I just roll into the throttle and maintain good speed. This is a part of driving whenever you drive in adverse weather conditions. I'm not hugging the right because if I do, I'll drift to the side and the car will jump the curb. I'm scanning because all the cars are cut in front of me, and I do see the salt truck, so I'm just gonna take my time. And I'm just gonna lift my foot. We use salt in our location in the Midwest. It's terrible for the cars, but it really takes care of the road here. So I want to keep moving and not be by the salt truck. You never want to be overconfident in these types of conditions. Whenever it's bad weather, you do move closer to the line. The line is possibly, having an accident. So I want to show you what you should do, what you shouldn't do. What you should do is maintain good speed and be nice and smooth, and I'm doing that. You should make sure your wipers you're getting a lot of ice on them. Trying to keep the windshield clear, but you can tell I'm losing the battle. So what should you do? You should clean off the wipers. This is our first real snow. It's going pretty good. I'm about 35 miles an hour. It may seem slow, but actually it's okay. And this is kind of peaceful. My voice may say different. They just kind of flipped on the blinker. I don't think they saw me at all, but that's no excuse. Trying to keep space. See, they didn't want to slow down and stop, and I have an open lane, so you want to be a defensive driver. It is a lot going on, but you want to focus on just keeping the car straight and just seeing what's going on. Some cars take a little while to warm up. This car is starting to warm up a little bit. I'm starting to relax a little bit too. I was a little bit tense when I got in. We're at about 30. But it seems to be moving pretty good. This type of weather is challenging for seniors, new drivers, and maybe drivers that are overconfident. I'm trying to keep my distance by keeping space. Sometimes I'm on the gas, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes in the right lane you do have traffic that stops and makes right turns into these private drives. That's what's going on here. The best thing is I have proper shoes on, got a hat, and a decent coat. I don't have gloves. I'm at 35. We seem to be making most lights. Oh, just when I said it. to show you how much snow is actually coming down. I'm looking ahead at the lines to keep me centered and making small steering wheel adjustments. Make a lane change. Good, I'm trying to stay smooth, not trying to overpower the car. And I'm trying to stay in the grooves of the car ahead of me. This is some pretty thick snow. It's kind of wet, thick. It's going to pile up. Keeping my space. Most of us are going between 25 and about 34 miles an hour. If you can't see the lines, you use the tracks to help you. If you can't see the lines or tracks, you use vehicles to guide you. Looking around the curve, going really slow and easy. Everyone's about 30. Even the speed limit's 45. It is kind of peaceful, but you always want to be aware. I say it's peaceful. You might say something different. Because every second you drive, you get closer to your destination. And I'm lifting my foot off the gas so I don't slide across. These are the times that you wish you had good wipers. They always go bad in weather like this, so you should change them just before this season. Doing pretty good around the curve. I'm looking ahead as far as possible. Everyone's about 30, 35. I'm using the yellow line to the left to help me, and the broken white line so I can have good lane judgment and lane positioning. have to make another decision. Do I want to stay on this route or go through a downtown area? Or do I want to try to get on the expressway? I want you guys to tell me what you feel comfortable with. Stay on this route, take it through a downtown area, or go on the expressway. Still at we're about 35 now. I'm gonna go ahead and get over one lane to the right. You can tell by the slush and that sound how bad it is. Proceed with caution, I'm already here. That truck is not moving, so I'm just trying to keep my distance in case I slide. This is almost like whiteout conditions, where it's really hard to see. Really, this is the first stop we've had in a while. Good, I can see the rear of the tires, not bad. It's a really slow takeoff. It might be faster taking this route than on the expressway. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and go on the expressway. Going really slow on this curve. Take it real easy. I do feel the car sliding a little bit, but you want to ease off the gas. And going real easy. And I'm looking ahead, checking traffic. Traffic is moving really slow. And use the tracks to help you. Really easy. This would be a great tutorial for someone learning for the first time. I'm at about 35. If you were driving with me, I'd tell you it would be nice and smooth, come out about 35, 40. And there's a charter bus behind me. So what would I tell you? Maintain good speed, take your time. I'm listening for the sound on the road. That's going to tell me what my tires are doing. And And if I go too fast in the curve, I'll slide. If I don't go fast enough, the bus behind me will tailgate me. So I've got to keep a good speed. We're about 40. People coming slow on the ramp. I'm just looking ahead. I'm going to get over one lane. I would tell you to do that. And I'm going to slide into the lane. And then I cancel my blinker. I want you to be very slow and deliberate. Be smooth as possible. And of course, when your instructor or parents tell you get good tires, you don't. But these tires are about 75%. Everyone's going kind of slow. No one is going 70, 80 because of the weather conditions. It's looking pretty good right now. Good in terms of we're safe, feel safe. I'm in the middle lane. If you were driving with me, I would tell you stay in the middle lane, look ahead, don't squeeze the wheel. Reading those brake lights. The bus is behind me, probably 10 cars. So I feel a little bit better. I don't want to be by that bus. I'm over a bridge. These freeze first, so I'm trying to be really easy on the gas. We're at about 45. Even though the speed limit here is 70, you must drive at a speed that is safe and reasonable for the conditions on the road. I'm lifting my foot again, taking my time. This is a front view because I feel like this will bring you value today. They just kind of cut over. Now, let me talk about the lane to the left. It's not cleaned as much, and that's where you can slide and hit the wall. So if you try to cut over to the left, you're really going to be at the mercy of lane positioning, snow and ice. The middle lane seems pretty good. You can see these whiteout conditions up here. I think I made a good decision taking the side roads and then deciding to get on. We're holding about 45 miles an hour. Trying to hold the wheel straight. Try not to steer at anything too long. Now, if you want to start keeping up with the gray vehicle, you're going to start losing your space. This left lane, you're going to have to go much faster than the conditions, and it kind of puts us all in danger. I'm keeping 1001, 1002, 1003, I'm keeping about 4 seconds. So I'm at 44 seconds of distance. I feel okay. I would say I feel safe, but I feel okay. I like what I see, and more importantly, what I feel. The car feels pretty smooth and stable on the road. I'm not going to get overconfident and go really fast. That's when you spin out, crash, hit a wall. But as long as we're moving about 45, I'm good. This is why when you drive in the snow, it takes a 2.5 hour drive will be 4.5 hours, 5 hours. And you see all these trucks driving fast, they're going to put us all in danger. When you're driving in this, I want you to be predictable, be smooth, take your time. Even if you have an all-wheel drive vehicle, you still got to be careful. And I'm keeping pretty good distance because I don't want to rear end someone. And there's no one behind me. So everyone's just driving smoothly and easily. Those people, when I try to push a little harder to the left, they're going to push a little bit harder, like that truck. See that car, that truck that's off the road. Yep, those windshield wipers. Mine are almost like that too. My fuel's a little less than half a tank. We're about 1,500 RPMs. We're at about 45 miles an hour. People are keeping a lot of space, so I feel safe. And if you were driving, you'll be driving about 40, 45, being smooth and easy. We're not worried about time. We're just trying to keep the car straight as possible and make minimum steering adjustments. My exit is coming up in about a mile, so I'm going to get over now to the right. I'm going to slide over and lift my foot. If the car slides, I'll be ready for it. I'm in the groove. And I'm just going to keep my space. We all have to deal with these adverse conditions. Thank you. We're at about 35. Don't want to hook the right because I'll be off into the ditch. I'm at 45. So speed limits anywhere from 35 to 45. The speed limit is 70, but it's adverse weather conditions. So we're just going to take our time. If you don't understand this as a beginner driver, you will make mistakes. If you don't understand this as an experienced driver, then you're foolish. It's giving you knowledge and wisdom. So we're in the snowstorm, about 35, 40 miles an hour. It's taking our time. Our view of the road is not that bad. My blinker on, and I'm gonna wait to gradually get into this clover lake. I'm trying to go in real easy because I don't want to lose control. I'd rather be a little bit more cautious than foolish. You can see that snow going across left and right. Going in real easy. We're at about 20, which is fine for these conditions. I'm looking where I'm going. And they're going really slow too. They're going about 15. And why wouldn't you? Squeeze my brakes because I need to get over one lane. And if I don't, oh, the car's sliding again. Just trying to keep space. I'm at about 15. Just baby in the car, really easy. Squeeze my brakes. Again, this is the first stop in a while. And I want to see the rear of the tires. Less than a half a tank. We're at about 650 RPMs, and I'm gradually accelerating. If I hit the throttle too hard, it will spin. So everyone's kind of crawling along. That burgundy car to the left is the Charger, so they don't really have tires for weather like this. But if you have all-season tires, I guess you'll be okay. Everyone's just taking their time. We're at 15 and a 50. It is a very high storm. I think if you're an experienced driver, you know, hey, I'm gonna be an hour later coming home. I need to go get something to eat. I need to top off my gas just in case I get stuck. If you're a young driver, you're like, oh crap, man, I got all this snow. Then you realize if you go too fast, you're gonna crash. If you're kind of in the middle, you're like, I'm just gonna take my time. My instructor told me about this. Hopefully that's the one you take. Take your time. And eventually I need to clean these wipers off. I mean, they're okay, but that snow that is right there, that's caking up everything. So I really need to clean all that off. That's what I really need to do. So I'm gonna try to get over to this gas station. See my blinker on early. And people are just crawling along. And if you're an impatient person, that you'll get very like upset and heated. I'm really patient. Oh, see the car slide? That wasn't fun, but you got to be prepared for it. And I'm gonna go really easy. See, both of those fuel things are full. So I'm gonna turn the wipers off. Then I'm gonna clean off these wipers. I want you to see this. My hand is frozen. Oh, so cold. But guess what? Look at that. So much cleaner. So occasionally when that kind of happens, you got to pull over to the side and clean those windows. So now, what a difference. So my hand is frozen. So I'm just gonna take a moment, get warmed up in the car. Move forward. Car's kind of sliding. Kind of go slow through this gas station / 7-Eleven. I think the snow and ice was covering the vent to draw in cold air for the defrost. So now it's pretty clear. So I'm gonna go slow. If I turn too fast, I'm going to spin out. And you got to stay in the grooves. I'm in the groove. Get over one lane. If you hit the gas too hard, the engine has traction control and will pull power. So let's try to go really easy. And during this time of weather, a lot of people go for comfort food. Pancakes, French toast. Whoa, see that curve? French toast, macaroni and cheese. I know I'm hungry, right? Chicken soup. And I'm gonna go really easy. That looks like a Camaro up there, so you know they're gonna have a little bit of trouble. And I used to be that guy having a Camaro, driving in weather like this. And a lot of people would look at me like, what's wrong with you? I didn't have a winter car, I only had a summer car. Speed limit here is 50, but we're at about a slow 20. We're in the groove. It's taking our time. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm just keeping space. Get that rear defroster on. And I think this view, for all of you who are watching this, it just gives you a point of view, a perspective to help you be slow, be deliberate, take your time, be smooth. Don't rush. My driving is on the weekend with my teens and adults, not during the week. I made my schedule like that. So I do have to make a left turn at the light. I have different devices mounted, both hands on the wheel, to give you a first-person perspective. Wireless hotspot, so that's how I'm able to do that. So I'm in the middle lane. I have to make a left turn, but I'm just going to take my time. It's cold down here. Yeah, I'm glad I cleaned up the windows. What a difference. So that proves to show you got to clean off your car really good. Clean off where the windshield wipers are, because that's where that cool air is drawn in and pulled in through your venting system. And then you have a heater core. Those of you who like technology, you have a heater core that uses your car's antifreeze. So it's like hot coolant is pushed in through this aluminum core, and then a fan blows on it, and that's how you get your hot air, your heat inside your car. And there's a vent right here. This vent is blowing nice hot air. Oh, that feels so good. My hands are frozen. This vent is blowing hot air, and this melts everything. And then sometimes cars get a pinhole in the heater core, and it smells like antifreeze in the car. You have to have that fixed. So that's why you need to have your coolant system fleshed out based on your manufacturer's recommendations. This car feels a lot warmer now. I don't know, maybe it's me. I've been driving for 42 minutes, but I should have got all this snow and ice off earlier, because now it's blowing nice and warm. all the snow and ice is melting. My windshield wipers don't have to struggle to turn. There's a wiper motor that is underneath the hood, and it turns a gear that turns the windshield wipers back and forth. And of course, these are rubber blades, probably 15 inches in length. I have a rubber blade on the driver's side that's wiping, and I have a rubber blade on the passenger side that's wiping. One is longer than the other. They cost $5.99, $7.99, $10.99, $20.99. You do get what you pay for, but if you're on a budget, $4.99, $5.99 wipers are good, because you want to be able to have these wiper blades do their job and clean the snow and ice. But I did turn on the car and let it heat up first. I got the glass nice and hot. This glass it's warm. You can feel the coldness. It's a double pane glass. You should be able to hear it too. You can hear it now. So you notice we've been at this light like 3 or 4 minutes, and that's okay. And these lights have timers because there's very heavy traffic right now. So some lights move fast, some lights don't. So that heater core is definitely heating up the windows. Not the heater core, the blower. There's looks like a chipmunk treadmill. I do get nervous. I'm not gonna lie. This car's sliding all over the road. You go slow. My heart's pounding as I talk to you because I don't want to be rear-ended. If someone goes too fast, or you see those cars turning left, they go too fast, they'll just spin it out into us. I try to keep good room, good space. I don't tailgate, and that's the thing I want you to learn here. It's not to tailgate. And I'm just trying to be very predictable, very steady, and then gradual exposure. If I go over 50 or 60, I'm gonna crash, I'm gonna spin out. The car's gonna fishtail. If I go 30 or under, that's too slow, cars are gonna tailgate me. So when you're driving, you have to go at the minimum speed to stay with the flow of the traffic. I need to turn this up a little bit more. So that helps me. I'm not nervous or less nervous because I've got about a half a tank. I had something to eat and drink before I left the lab. I'm not late to anywhere, so I don't have to like rush and drive really fast. That plays a big deal in it too. And you just have to have a relaxed mental state out here. Oh, the car is sliding. And you know, I see rear-wheel drive cars, so it's like a Chrysler 3. So what this tells me is this intersection to the left right here, this intersection to the left right here is very slick. So it's going to take time to go here. So normally this left 3 or 4 minutes, it's been 7, 8 minutes. And I think driving in the middle lane, from a teen to a 20 to 30-year-old, just not being crazy on the road, taking my time, and I'm trying to keep this window heated up. Now, if I went to the auto parts store and got new wipers, you would see like a pretty good difference, maybe 50% more. These wipers aren't that bad. So if we went to the auto parts store, you would see a line for wipers. And then they do put them on for you in the cold. So I have to wait for this car to make their left turn, and you're gonna get a chance to see this. And for an instructor, this is the most dangerous, because left-hand turns are the most dangerous. You're turning in front of traffic. So I'm gonna wait till my green turning arrow. You can't see it. There's a car to the left that's past the stop line. So I'm gonna have to make a really kind of short turn and then I have to get over to the right. So I'm gonna go to the second driveway. I'll make my left turn by the double yellow, then I'll turn on my right blinker. Then when it's clear, see, this car doesn't even have electric windows. I have a crank, and if I crank it down, I'll let snow in. Okay, there's my green turning arrow. See that Camaro slipping, that white car? They're just slipping along. So this left turn is not the greatest. See them sliding? They're spinning tires. Got on my right turn signal. I'm looking for the driveway, and then I'll turn. It's kind of hard to see. Okay. And I'm going really slow here. Just taking my time. So a lot of people like parking by cars. I like to park away from cars. And I'm gonna go up. All right. I'm gonna flip this camera. Hold on. All right, guys, this is crazy. It took me almost 50 minutes to drive. And what are some takeaways? You got to drive slow. You've got to make sure that you got a hat for your head. You got a jacket. You got some boots. It depends how you want to dress. If you're a teen, you probably have a hoodie on freezing. If you're in your 20s, you're like, you know, I'm going to put a hoodie on and another hoodie and a jacket. If you're in your 30s, you're like, I have my winter jacket and my shoes. If you're in your 40s, you're like, I'm not going to go unless I have to. If you're in your 50s, I just have to go to work and come home. If you're 60, I'm retired, bro. I'm not going out unless I have to. This drive was good because you had a chance to see real life, how I navigate, how an instructor navigates. You can use this to help you go slow, go smooth, stay in the middle lane, take your time. Was I nervous out there? Yeah, I was, because I'm not used to this car. It's a smaller, mid-sized car. I prefer a larger vehicle or a truck. It does have drum brakes on the back, so it's not going to stop the greatest. I was losing some visibility on the windshield. I'll flip it around and show you. I was losing some visibility on this windshield, but once I stopped and cleaned the snow and ice, I was able to see. I got gas earlier. I was a little less than a half a tank, so I knew I wasn't going to run out. I wasn't going to chance it and be at a fourth of a tank, because in weather like this, you're going to run out of gas, or you're going to have gas line freeze up. I didn't go into the left lane, the fast lane. Why am I trying to speed and get home like a couple of minutes earlier and crash? So I stayed in the middle lane. I did not want to be in the right lane because cars and trucks were coming, and they'll merge out and act like they don't see you and cut you off, or they don't see you and cut you off. So you saw me driving in the middle lane. The speed limit was 70, but yet I was driving 35. And that's what a lot of people who look at this want to understand. Why are you driving at 35? Adverse weather conditions, snow, ice. If you're driving 50, 55, 60, you're going to crash into something. You're going to lose traction on a curve. I wanted to have good traction. I wanted to take my time. And I was just patient. The car doesn't get super hot inside. It gets warm enough. If it's too hot, you're going to fall asleep. But I was able to safely navigate, not overturn the wheel. If you overturn the wheel in weather like this, I'm going to show you. If you overturn the wheel in weather like this, you're going to end up sliding. We talked about the heater core. This is the vent. This is the defrost vent. If we pull the dash off, there is a vent. There's venting, and then there's a fan, kind of like a chipmunk treadmill. There's a little fan, and on the dashboard The vents, you've been in a car before, the vents blow warm air out, the vents blow air to the side windows, and the vents blow air here. So I have it set on the front. And then the temperature of the car is warm because it's been running. I cleaned off the vents outside, and that allowed this cold air to be sucked in and heated up by the heater core. The heater core is like it's like an aluminum, some aluminum pipes that have been going side to side to side to side to side. And then there are two water hoses. This actually goes to your cooling system. And then your motor is water cooled. This motor is water, it's a mixture of water and antifreeze. And it boiling point is 220. So when you heat up the car, the water and antifreeze go through the motor. It's heated up. There's a radiator outside. And then when you drive, the cold air cools off the antifreeze, and that cools off. Hot coolant comes in, is cooled off through the vent outside the radiator. As air goes through the radiator, you're going to have cooler temperatures. And then from there, there is another two lines, an in and an out, go into the heater core, which is probably over here to the right. It varies from car to car or truck to truck. And then that coolant is pumped through there. Basically, antifreeze is pumped through an aluminum tube, and then the fan blows. So listen. It's up really hot. All this is blowing hot air. Okay? And then all this will heat up. So you have one, I'm going to show you, off, 1, 2, 3, 4, it goes up to 4. And then there's a button you could push for the rear defroster. So you got to know these things. I'm more relaxed because I can see. If my car was not warming up properly and I couldn't see, then I would be nervous. Half the trip was on a side road. You need to know more than one way to get home. You can look at these cars. Everyone's really, using those wipers a lot. They're moving pretty slow. We're all trying to be safe and keep room. If you live in a cold weather climate, the Midwest, we get a lot of snow. And typically, a lot of guys and ladies at auto shops love this because people go too fast and have accidents. So I'm trying to just take my time and be slow and deliberate. Also, there is some sandbags in the trunk. I have a tow rope. I have jumper cables in case the car breaks down. These are some of the things all of you need when you're driving on the road. You have to anticipate, I might have an accident or the car might get into a ditch. You need to have a tow rope. You need to have jumper cables. You need to have some gloves. You need to have some other emergency things, a high energy, non-perishable candy bar, flashlight, maybe some matches, a small gas tank. But this is a good experience, and you just have to take it slow and easy. I hope you enjoyed this. I did, just bringing real life to you and use some of these things to help you. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up. I also have a podcast called Driving with Myles, M-Y-L-E-S, and that's on Spotify. I want to say thank you. Bye, guys. Be safe.